بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله صلى الله وسلم وبارك على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، السؤال: ما حكم من يحس بخروج مذي أو قطرات من البول أثناء الإحرام وكذلك عند خروجه إلى الصلاة أو إلى الصلاة؟ الجواب: الواجب على المؤمن إذا علم هذا أن يتوضأ إذا كان الوقت وقت الصلاة ويستنجي من بوله ويستنجي من المذي، والواجب في المذي أن يغسل الذكر والأنثيين، أما البول فيغسل طرف الذكر الذي أصابه البول ثم يتوضأ وضوءه للصلاة إن كان وقتا أو وقت صلاة. أما إن كان الوقت ليس وقت صلاة فلا مانع من تأجيل ذلك إلى وقت الصلاة، لكن ينبغي أن لا يكون ذلك عن وساوس بل عن يقين. أما إذا كان عن وساوس فينبغي له أن يطرح هذا ويعرض عنه حتى لا يبتلى بالوساوس، لأن الناس قد يبتلون بشيء من الوسوسة، يظن أنه خرج منه شيء وهو لم يخرج منه شيء، فلا ينبغي أن يعود نفسه على الخضوع للوساوس، بل ينبغي له أن يطرحها أو أن يطرحها وأن يعرض عنها. السؤال الذي بعده: بعدما أنتهي من الوضوء أشعر بأنه يخرج مني نقاط من البول، فهل يجب علي إعادة الوضوء، علما بأنني كلما أعدت الوضوء حصل نفس الشعور، فماذا أفعل؟ الجواب: هذا الشعور عند السائل بعد الوضوء يعتبر من وساوس الشيطان، فلا يلزمه أن يعيد الوضوء، بل المشروع له أن يعرض عن ذلك وأن يعتبر وضوءه صحيحا لم ينتقض، لقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لما سئل عن الرجل يجد الشيء في الصلاة قال لا ينصرف حتى يسمع صوتا أو يجد ريحا، متفق على صحته. ولأن الشيطان حريص على إفساد عبادة المسلم من الصلاة والوضوء بغيرهما، فتجب محاربته وعدم الخضوع لوساوسه مع التعوذ بالله من نزغاته ومكائده، والله ولي التوفيق. السؤال الذي بعده: عندما أتوضأ للصلاة وفي أثناء الوضوء أشعر بأن شيئا يخرج من الذكر، فهل يعني هذا أنني تنجست أم لا؟ وهل إذا أحسست بخروجه وأنا أصلي تبطل صلاتي أم لا؟ الجواب: إحساس المصلي بشيء يخرج من دبره أو قبره لا يبطل وضوءه ولا يلتفت إليه لكونه من وساوس الشيطان، وقد صح عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أن سئل عن مثل هذا فقال لا ينصرف حتى يسمع صوتا أو يجد ريحا، متفق على صحته. أما إن جزم المصلي بخروج الريح أو البول ونحوهما يقينا فإن صلاته تبطل لفساد طهارته وعليه أن يعيد الوضوء والصلاة. السؤال الذي بعده: أشعر أحيانا خلال وضوئي أن وضوئي ينتقض وكذلك في الصلاة، ولا أدري هل هذا حقيقة أم وسواس، حتى أنني كثير إعادة للصلاة مما جعلني إلى آخره. وقد قرأنا هذه الفتوى وجوابها. So there are about 3 questions, all pertaining to the same thing. The first question says, when I finish what is the ruling on one who feels that there's some type of secretion or some type of fluid that comes from his private part, whether it's drops of urine or whether it's pre-seminal fluid or the fluid that comes after urination, which isn't the same as pre-seminal fluid or ejaculation fluid before ejaculation when a man is excited. Medhi, and not medhi and wadi. Okay, medhi, a person is excited and sexually aroused, and he feels the wetness in his private area. What is the ruling on one who they feel that this is the case? All right, they feel that this is the case when they're making ihram for Hajj and for Umrah. You're making Hajj, you're making Umrah, you're in Mecca, you're in a plane, you're in a train, you've taken off your clothes, you've gotten to the mental, spiritual state of ihram, you get dressed and wait a second, I feel some wetness. Could be urine after I use the bathroom, could be pre-seminal fluid, medhi, not wadi, okay? And also a person who feels this way when he goes to the salah. When it's time to go pray, I feel wetness. I'm not sure whether it's urine, whether it's pre-seminal fluid, or both. Do I stop my ihram? Do I have to make wudu again? Do I have to change my clothes? Etc., etc., etc. The answer says, listen carefully, al-wajib, he says that which is obligatory, that which is mandatory upon the mu'min, the believer, is that when he knows this, إِذَا عَلِمَ هَذَا, that it's urine or pre-seminal fluid, then he must make wudu if it's time for salah. And he must make istinja from the madhi. Okay, so the madhi, man, he says, يَغْسِلُ الذَّكَرْ وَالْأُنْثَيَيْنِ. With no shyness in the deen, we're all adults, we're all mature, inshallah. He has to wash, he says, his penis and his scrotum, his testicles, put water on both of them. As far as urine, then obviously a person just is going to wash the tip of his penis with the water. And any other part of his body that he feels that he knows that the urine has touched when it's time for the prayer. Meaning not before the time for the prayer, when the prayer has come in. As far as if it's not time for the prayer, then there's nothing wrong with him delaying that. Until it's time for dhuhr, that's what I need to do. So the urine, you're going to make istinja. And if you know that it's any part of your body, the urine came out of me, and your underpants, whatever the case may be, your izar, your underwear, whatever the case may be. And as far as the madhi, then the madhi, what he mentions here in this fatwa, nothing else, he says, يَغْسِلُ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنْثَيَيْنِ, to put water on your penis and on your scrotum. That's it. And he doesn't mention putting water, making nadah in your underpants. He then says, lakin, however, this is not to come from wiswas. It's not to come from wiswas. Bal an yaqeen. He says you have to be sure of it. Not I think, I feel, I fear, I'm worried. Maybe, and that obviously is very important. This is the language of someone who's afflicted by wiswas. They use this sheet of words. I think, I fear, I'm worried, but what if, I want to be sure, I want to make sure. None of those things are words of yaqeen. I know I had an accident. Something's wrong with my bladder. I had to use the bathroom. I got excited. Whatever the case, it's really cold outside, whatever the case may be, in which I know that there's wetness in my underwear, and it came from this and it came from that. Not from I think and I'm worried. As far as if it's from wiswas, then the believer, he says he must do away with it. He is not to submit to the wiswas. He is not to obey the wiswas. He is not to consider and regard the wiswas. Well, let me just be safe. Let me just do it just in case. La. He's to disrespect the wiswas. It's nothing. It's batil. It's a lie. It's an illusion. يُعْرِضُ عَنْ, to turn away from it. Until, he says, to protect himself from becoming a victim of the wiswas. And that's because many people are victims of wiswas. Many people. He says they think that something comes out of them, but in reality, nothing came out. There is no wetness. There is no fluid. There is no urine. There's nothing. But they think and they feel. فَلَا يَنْبَغِي, he says, so therefore it is unnecessary for a person to train his mind for wiswas. I think, I feel, automatic. Oh, maybe, automatic. La. Rather the opposite. You have to train yourself not to give into the wiswas and only to deal with the yaqeen. Al-khudu', it says submission to the wiswas. Rather a person is to turn away from it. He is to discard it. He is to do away with it. This fatwa was given by Shaykh Abdul Aziz ibn Abdullah ibn Baz. And hopefully, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, in the near future, we have the ability to read and translate the rest of the fatwa. We read like 3 or 4 of them straight, with give or take details. This is very common. Many Muslims suffer from wiswas. With regards to tahara, wudu, salah, divorce. I divorced my wife. I think I divorced my wife. Maybe I divorced my wife. I recited the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, so does that mean my wife is divorced? It was an intention. I told my wife to go to her parents' house, so does that mean? That's all from the shaitan. And of course, I have doubts about Islam. I have doubts. I don't understand this verse. I don't get this verse. No Muslim doubts Islam. If you don't understand the interpretation of the verse, it's not a doubt. That's just something that you don't understand. But the shaitan wants you to be miserable. And the biggest thing for him to take from you is your iman. If he can't take your iman from you, he takes your salah from you. If he can't take salah from you, he takes your wife from you. If he can't take your wife from you, then he takes your friends from you. I can't be around the people because I stink, I smell. I have a bad odor, so I don't want to go to the masjid. I have a bad odor, so I don't want you. And if he can't do that, then he'll take away from you food and drink. Good things to eat and drink has this dye in it, has this haram thing in it, has this, has that. The shaitan is trying to strangle you and isolate you from anyone that loves you, and he wants you to be miserable. Because when you leave Islam, you're going to be miserable. When you don't pray, you're going to be miserable. When you divorce your wife and you realize that it was a trick, you're going to be miserable. So the shaitan, inna shaitan lakum aduwan, fattakhiduhu aduwa. Allah tells us in the Quran, he is your enemy, take him as such. He's not a friend, he's not an ally, he is not an advisor, someone that you say, tell me more, give me nasiha. He's an adu, take him as an adu. إِنَّمَا يَدْعُو حِزْبَهُ لِيَكُونُوا مِنْ أَصْحَابِ السَّعِيرِ. He only calls his stoops, his victims, his denizens to be in the fire with him. That's why he makes da'wah. So the shaitan is not your friend. You are not to say, oh, let me see what he's trying to say, or let me double check, let me make sure I'm clean, I'm dry, in the discussion. And of course, that's from the theory of the Wiswas. And of course, there are more practicalities with regards to putting water in your underpants to make sure that you tell yourself it's water. And there are other practical steps and tips as well. This is a brief fatwa. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.